for the late start. For some reason, Brave browser thought it would be good to mute my microphone and my camera, so you wouldn't have been able to hear me. Apologize for the late start. Okay, we're here. It looks like it's working. We put a little GM in the chat, make sure that's going. Anyway, gonna have to talk fast because there's a lot going on today. Yeah, the market opened 7 minutes ago. So anyway, welcome. Markets were looking to open a little in the green. Let's see, since we kind of wait people to join, and let's go ahead and see how we're doing. Looks like they might have opened a little in the negative. Let's see though. Let's actually open it up and see where we're playing here. But no, we'll refresh this. Looks like looks positive, but let's see here. Had a little dip in crypto and stuff right about a half an hour before we started here, but let's see. No, we're looking positive. Yeah, the NASDAQ positive 0.44. Let me even refresh it again. So we opened green. That's good. Welcome, Jim. Yeah, we're up on the. Looks like we're up good on the Dow as well as the S&P. So the Dow is looking like it's up. Well, we were looking red earlier. But then it had turned positive right before crypto took a little dip. We'll see what it's doing. Looks like gold is up a third of a point, about a little over 5,000. Let's just refresh this one more time, and then we'll go see if we can take a look on crude. Crude was working its way up. Yeah, so we're positive on all the indices. Let's see if it'll show us. Let's see what oil's doing. Oil is, up 2%, 94.31. Brent crude, which I believe is the Middle Eastern crude, 102. So it's up 2% as well. So, so a positive opening, even though we missed it. Let's go now take a look at crypto, which I say took a little bit of a dip. Bitcoin, we see Bitcoin, man, once again, been outperforming the market. Happy St. Paddy's Day, too, if you're just joining me. I'll be heading to Vegas today here after the show to enjoy the next 3-4 days there. So I'll be celebrating St. Paddy's Day in Las Vegas. I think they like to take that Venetian little river up there and dye it green, like I know they do in Chicago, probably a few other places. But anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. So we see Bitcoin, man, took a big bump yesterday, all the way up just shy of 76, probably hit 76 on some exchanges, but we pulled back a little bit since then. Let's look at the hour because we just had a dip a minute ago. It looks like we're coming back. Yeah, we were at 74, took this little dip. Now we're grinding back. Love to see us hold over 74. If we can hold over 74, 74.5, then I think we continue to go up. Ethereum, man, 23.41. So Bitcoin is still up. Well, I guess it's a little flat for the day, down a little for the day, but up big for the week. We've got Ethereum is positive for the day. It's performing a little better, 1.7% for the day, 23.81. Remember, we were just within the last few weeks, we were down around 18. So great recovery for Ethereum. I'm going to have to talk fast because there's so much news to cover. XRP took over the 4th spot from BNB. So congratulations to XRP Army out there, the XRP community. They're loving their XRP, and it is now the number 4th biggest crypto. It is sitting at $1.50, almost $1.51. It got all the way up to $1.60. Like I say, now ranked number 4 overall. So congrats to people who hold XRP. Up 1.4% for the day. Solana 94.48. See, we got well over 97 and still not looking too bad at 94.48. So, and if we look at just kind of overall, we had some things come back because they'd gone up so much, but Zcash still going. Aster playing a little catch up. Hype up as well. Fetch AI, a few Pi pulled back. Pepe's pulled back a little. Tao's pulled back. They had pretty good runs in Cyrene, which I think is an AI. Much about it. Now, man, buyer beware. Let's look at Pippin here. Look at Pippin, man. Pippin. Huge drop, almost a 50% drop. Dropped 57 spots. Was actually worse than this, believe it or not. Pippin drops 57 spots to number 160. It had dropped all the way out of the top 200. I guess and realize this coin's been 900 million, pushing $1 billion, right? So very popular coin. I guess their X account got shut off. Some whales exited, and then they got shorted down to here. So listen, these careful with. I don't know anything about it much, to be honest with you. I don't know how. I never pulled the bubble maps on it or anything, but just shows what can happen, man. Don't buy into the FOMO. Don't buy the tops if you can help it. But anyway, that's what's going on with Pippin. Well, let's look at the news. I guess tons of good news today. Like probably won't even be able to cover it. Maybe some stuff's happened since this, but of course, from our boy Fitty.eth, happy St. Patrick's Day. I never realized that it's more of an American. Of course, it's an Irish holiday, but it's more of an American holiday. Caught on more here, I guess. At the time, people in Ireland were not doing great, and it kind of caught on as a big kind of party thing in America. So if you're Irish, jump in the chat and let me know. But from my understanding, it's bigger here than it is in Ireland. Here's another thing. I got a slide on it too. There's 36 million people in America of Irish descent. There's only 5 million people in Ireland. So crazy. Like I say, a big, so that was interesting. I learned something about that, but yeah, I always thought it was big in Ireland. We were just copying them. Bitcoin and crypto lender Abra just raised $750 million to go public on the NASDAQ. They're backed by Cantor Fitzgerald, and they are targeting the $100 trillion worth of registered investment advisors. So that could be a big player. And yeah, raising almost $1 billion pre-listing is a good thing. I can't wait till some of those opportunities are available to us via the blockchain, not just the insiders. But anyway, shout out to Abra, Cantor Fitzgerald. Lending and stuff's going to be a big piece of this crypto puzzle. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes, man. I have to talk fast. $50 billion PayPal just announced it will expand its crypto stable payments to 70 more countries. I don't know how many they were in already, but it was kind of a test thing. And then, man, PayPal is huge internationally. They have huge market penetration on a global basis. I personally can't stand PayPal because they're just so fast at, I have a whole story about how they canceled my account when I was selling masks. Government was buying masks at $20. I was selling them for $1.50, and they froze all my money and kept it. Well, that's why I hate them. I forgot. They kept it. It was like $2,000. They kept it. They didn't even give it back. Used to be you got it back 6 months later. Now they just keep it. So to hell with PayPal, but shout out to them because a lot of people use them. It will help with adoption. They can pump my bags before they go out of business. Czech president just signed a law removing the capital gains tax on Bitcoin after holding for 3 years. We're seeing this become a trend more and more every day. So super cool. I think it should be everywhere, to be honest with you. Think of how much how much capital is going to see its way to Bitcoin if everyone does this. And I think this is more likely the U.S. does this if everyone else is doing it. So this could be huge. I mean, really, why isn't that would just be treating it like a currency rather than an asset, which, I don't know where it falls in there, but I would love to see this. It would bring a huge amount of money. That's how we get to $200 trillion market cap Bitcoin that Michael Saylor and the kid with the what's his name? You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, geez, name's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, they're always talking about $200 trillion Bitcoin. So That's like million and a half, 2 million, no, 15, $20 million Bitcoin. Uh, Makes me mad. I can't remember his name. Anyway, British Airways has canceled all the flights to the Middle East until the end of May. So, man, we're starting to see massive disruption, massive global disruption, not only in the energy sector, but also in the obviously the fertilizer. A lot of the world's fertilizer components come from over there, but we're seeing big time disruption here. So, we saw yesterday all the flights were canceled out of Dubai. Then they're brought back, and I think they were canceled again because drones keep hitting. So now British Airways just flat out canceled every flight into that whole area till the end of May. So we're seeing global disruption for sure. Oh, there's the Pippin meme coin. Yeah. Wiped out 200 million of market cap. Man, be careful out there. If you have these, take your freaking profits, man. Take your profits. If you want to leave a moon bag, it's house money, go ahead. But, man, take your profits. Tom Lee. Yeah, Tom Lee. I'm going to talk about that. Tom Lee bought another like $142 million worth of ETH, man. Doubling down. He's not screwing around. He's like Saylor. This guy was $10-12 billion in the hole. Now, listen, I'm going to be upfront with this. My personal opinion, I'm happy for Saylor. I'm a little worried about Tom Lee. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll make a fortune. I think it's a smart move. I wouldn't have the balls to do it because Bitcoin's Bitcoin. There's nothing really to challenge Bitcoin. There's a lot of challengers to Ethereum. So to me, Ethereum isn't have as rock solid a place, but I still think it's going to be the number one layer one for a long time. And I think they'll do good, but I'm a little worried about Tom Lee. But yeah, I do have that coming up, man. So no, Tom Lee's not the name I was thinking about. I was thinking of the young kid that always wears a hoodie. He looks like he's 15. I know he's older than that though. He's one of the primary investors in Circle, and he's got a Bitcoin, second biggest Bitcoin, or one of the biggest Bitcoin treasury companies. Drives me nuts. Anyway, no, but I wasn't thinking of Tom Lee. Young kid, Bitcoin. T. Rowe Price. This is from my guy, Martini Guy. A U.S. company managing 1.8 trillion in assets applies for an ETF made up of Bitcoin and 14 altcoins. So people want to come into crypto, they'll just say, yeah, just buy this. It's got Bitcoin and the top 14 altcoins are good diversification. I don't know which ones are in it, but we can guess. Hopefully good ones, but Mahler, kid's name. Last name Mahler. Can't believe I can't remember his name, but anyway, T. Rowe Price coming out with an ETF. I haven't really heard of T. Rowe Price much in since we've been announcing the news and talking about it. So here they come out with an ETF. I think it's going to be like a one-shot deal for their clients. Hey, just give them this. Gives them a good smattering of crypto. So I'm excited about that. I think it'll be beneficial. Only about 4% advisors, by the way, are even suggesting it to their customers. Long way to go. Australian Senate approves bill to officially regulate Bitcoin and crypto in financial services. So more and more countries. We saw yesterday, Thailand, a few others. Later, we're going to talk about Vietnam. Can't remember that kid's name. That drives me nuts. Anyway, we're moving along, getting regulated. Fear and greed up to 28, which is crazy. We had over 45 days in extreme fear. Now we're still in fear, but man, we were talking 4, 5, 8, 11, 15, 16, and obviously price action does a lot of good. Jack Mahler. Damn, man. Freaking Alzheimer's kicking in. Vietnam to launch its first local crypto exchange. This will be its first licensed crypto exchange And then they're of course at the same time tightening restrictions on overseas platforms like Binance and OKX. And you may not realize this, but Vietnam is the fourth globally in crypto adoption, with over 200 billion in annual trading volume. So, yeah. By the way, GM, happy St. Paddy's Day to you. See you rocking a green PFP there. That might just be lucky, but happy St. Paddy's Day to you. Interesting that Satoshi saying basically earlier today, oil was up 4%, saying it's kind of ignoring the emergency supply, even though we just released 172 million barrels. But the ongoing supply loss, every day we have drones threatening, hitting supply tanks, hitting refineries, and also some are shutting down production because they can't do it. So the ongoing supply loss continues. The reserves are not able to quite keep up, and the Straits of Hormuz, obviously, that needs to get settled. Trump's working on that now. We'll see. But for right now, it's kind of been backburnered. And like I say, not much to talk about it today because there's just so much crypto news happening. Denmark is the first country that said they're going to help Trump. Man, I'll tell you what, you know how vindictive Trump is. I get these countries don't want to become involved, but man, and they need it because they're going to be the ones running out of oil, and Trump will probably upcharge them a special fee because they didn't help. So they're not very energy independent at all. They've gone the way of windmills and solar and totally stupid. Laughed at Trump when he brought it up. Now, Sri Lanka, to fight it, every Wednesday they've declared it a public holiday to conserve fuel amid the shortage with this war going on. So that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, let's have a holiday. Let's take a day off. I'm for that, but I'll be here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm here 7 days a week. Not for this show, but I'm here working 7 days a week. Trump said Venezuela will step up oil production rapidly. And they're saying Polymarket odds have it 22% chance Venezuelan oil production reaches 1.2 million barrels a day this year. So you can see what a critical move it was for Trump to get. First off, the Chinese, the Iranians, they were really getting a foothold in our hemisphere. So that alone was probably worth doing it. But yeah, and then when they nationalized it, they stole all the stuff that was done by Chevron, all the U.S. companies. And their people sure didn't benefit it. Just the corrupt leaders, as usually happens in this kind of a movement. But anyway, it's going to become a big factor as well as America. So long term, this probably helps the American economy. Also, I'm hearing a lot of talk that a lot of these countries are like behind the scenes are really pushing America to really finish the job because you see what, they don't want Iran to have any missile functionality and stuff moving forward because you see how it disrupts, man. Dubai, real estate, stock market, tanking, absolutely tanking. I want to buy a place there, so this might be good timing for me to go over there as soon as the bombs quit flying. Maybe even if I'll tell you, if I was there, I'd stay there. I'll be honest with you. I think your odds of getting, I guess if you get blown up, you wish you'd left, but I still think you're statistically probably safer than me getting in my car driving to Vegas today. Anyway, Kyrgyzstan. I was just in Kyrgyzstan about a year or two ago. Cool country, man. Former Soviet Republic. Really enjoyed my time there. Really, no one knows about it. Really great place to travel, and cheap people were there. The cops, the policemen, the people, the military were really cool. But they don't have a lot of opportunity over there. So they just had the Kyrgyzstan National Payment Network just processed its first Bitcoin and crypto payment in history. Every citizen can now spend Bitcoin at any retail store in the country. Now, when I was there, I used my CoinZoom card, if you can see it there. I use my CoinZoom card for everything. Buy my Red Bulls. Red Bulls are way cheap there compared to here. But yeah, I use it to buy my Red Bull. I was able to pay in Bitcoin because CoinZoom helped me do it. But now I could literally go use my wallet and pay in Bitcoin. So shout out to Kyrgyzstan, man. I want to go back. I had a great time there. They eat more horse than cow, believe it or not. Every menu had horse on it. They have horses just like cows, and they prefer horse to cows, believe it or not. I didn't partake of any. I got force fed some by, I think, when I was in Taiwan. They said it was beef, but I could tell it wasn't beef. So probably have had horse, and I have had zebra in Africa several occasions. But anyway, this was interesting, and this could explain why it's such a big holiday here. There are 36 million Americans of Irish descent and only 5 million people currently living in Ireland. If your ancestors live in Ireland in the 1800s, you are 9 times more likely to live in the USA than Ireland. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So I know they had that potato famine and stuff like that. And a lot of the Irish people got sent over here as slaves too. I don't think people talk about that, but yeah, a lot of Irish people got sold over here as slaves as well. So not cool. But MasterCard set to acquire stablecoin infrastructure firm BVNK for up to $1.8 billion. Let's hit the last couple news and we'll check on everything. XRP flips BNB to become the 4th largest crypto. XRP jumps to 93.4 billion market cap, overtake BNB. And anyway, shout out. We already mentioned that, but shout out to XRP holders. Polymarket, the latest. Argentina blocks Polymarket and orders Google and Apple to remove its app, ruling it as an unlicensed betting platform without identity verification. So we're seeing this more and more. We shall see. 8 straight days of green candles. Bitcoin pushes up past 75,000. 74.5 is very important. Israel claims that they took out one of these top guys. Israeli defense minister forces security chief Ali Larjani overnight strikes. So not to confirmed yet, but another big time guy. If true. OpenSea halted their token launch. They were going to launch it here in 2 weeks. They said they cited weak crypto market conditions. So those of us that used to spend tens of thousands of dollars on OpenSea, we're hoping to get a big airdrop, but we'll see, man. Too little, too late. But I get it, not doing it during the regulatory stuff. But man, I don't know if they're going to be able to regain their dominance. Let's take a quick look back at the markets, see how they're doing really quickly, and then we'll call it a day, man. I'll see everyone tomorrow. I'll be coming live from Vegas tomorrow, heading out right after my next show. Okay, we're still looking at, up 373 on the NASDAQ, 78.78 on the Dow, 0.71. So looking good. Take one last coin. Let's get into the top 100 here. And Bitcoin, look at it on the hourly chart. Fell off a little, up a little. So 73,647. I'll take it. I'd really like to see it hold over 74. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. You guys have a good, go get some tacos or some Guinness or some green beer of choice. And we'll see